Stop right there. Before you scroll past this video, I need you to hear something that your doctor probably hasn't told you, and that the supplement industry is hoping you never find out. If you're over 70 and you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, your grip getting softer, or your body just not responding the way it used to, that is not aging. That is a specific biological process called sarcopenia, and it is happening to you right now, today, as you watch this. Here's what makes this urgent. After age 70, your body loses up to 1.5% of its muscle mass every single month without intervention. That's not a slow drift, that's a collapse. But here is what changes everything. There is a group of common, inexpensive fruits, the kind you walk past at the grocery store every week, that contain compounds so powerful for rebuilding muscle in aging bodies that researchers are calling them a paradigm shift in how we approach muscle loss after 70. Today, I'm going to count down the 5 most powerful of these fruits, from effective all the way to extraordinary. And when I tell you what the number one fruit does at the cellular level, at a fraction of the cost of any supplement on the market, you are going to be angry that nobody told you sooner. Stay with me. This is the most important 12 minutes your muscles will get today. Before we start the countdown, I need to give you 60 seconds of context, because without it, nothing I'm about to say will make full sense. After 70, your muscles develop something called anabolic resistance. Think of it like a locked door. Protein knocks. Your muscles used to open immediately. Now they barely crack the door open. This means the protein you're eating, even if you're eating enough of it, isn't getting into your muscle tissue efficiently anymore. It's like filling a car with premium fuel, but the engine won't turn over. The fruits on this list don't just add protein, they act as biological keys that unlock that door, making every gram of protein you consume dramatically more effective. That's the mechanism, that's why this works. Now let's get into the countdown. Quick note before we dive in. If you're watching this and you know someone over 70 who's struggling with weakness, with balance, with feeling like their body is giving up on them, share this video with them right now. Don't wait until the end. This information could genuinely change their trajectory. Hit that share button and let's keep going. Number 5. Guava. I know what you're thinking. That tropical fruit I've seen but never really eaten? Yes. And here's why it makes this list. Guava contains 4.2 grams of protein per cup. Extraordinary for a fruit. But the protein content alone isn't what matters here. What matters is this. Guava contains 228 milligrams of vitamin C per cup. That's nearly 3 times the recommended daily amount. Why does that matter for muscle? Because vitamin C is absolutely essential for collagen synthesis. And collagen is the structural framework that holds your muscle fibers together. After age 75, your body produces approximately 35% less collagen than it did at 40. Your muscles aren't just losing size. They're losing their internal scaffolding. Guava directly addresses that gap. On top of that, guava is one of the richest food sources of a compound called quercetin, a flavonoid that activates a protein called PGC1-alpha, which essentially tells your mitochondria to multiply. More mitochondria means more energy delivered to your muscles. More energy means stronger contractions, faster recovery, less fatigue. In adults over 70, quercetin supplementation alone has shown up to a 13% improvement in muscle function scores in just 12 weeks. Practical protocol. 1 cup of fresh guava daily, preferably in the morning. Synergy tip. Combine it with a small handful of pumpkin seeds. The zinc in pumpkin seeds intensifies the amino acid absorption pathway that guava initiates, a combination no single food achieves alone. Number 4. Banana. But not the way you think. Everyone talks about potassium and carbs. That's not the story here. Researchers at Mahidol University in Bangkok studied 340 older adults between 65 and 82 years old and identified something far more exciting. A compound found specifically in bananas, dopamine and catechins, reduced systemic inflammation by up to 18% over 16 weeks. Remember anabolic resistance? Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of it. It operates like a slow fire, burning through your muscle fibers constantly. Reduce that inflammation by 18%, and you open a biological window for new muscle growth that was previously being slammed shut. But here's the part most people miss entirely. A slightly green banana, one that still has a little green on the peel, contains resistant starch. That resistant starch feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which produce short-chain fatty acids, particularly one called butyrate. Butyrate has been shown to directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis through what researchers call the gut-muscle axis, a communication pathway between your digestive system and your muscle tissue that most doctors never mention. After 70, your gut microbiome diversity declines significantly. This axis weakens. A slightly green banana every day helps restore it. Practical protocol. One medium slightly green banana consumed 45 minutes before any physical activity, even a 15-minute walk. Synergy tip. 1 tablespoon of natural almond butter. The healthy fats slow sugar release while delivering magnesium, a mineral 68% of adults over 70 are deficient in, and one that is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions involved in muscle protein synthesis. Right here, halfway through. If this information is giving you something your doctor never explained, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells YouTube to show this video to more seniors who desperately need to hear it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. New research every week built for you. The number 1 flute is coming, and I promise it will surprise you. Number 3. Pomegranate, and specifically a compound inside it called urolithin A. Here's how I explain this to my patients. Your muscle cells have tiny power plants inside them called mitochondria. Over time, these power plants accumulate damaged components, broken machinery, worn-out parts, and they stop working efficiently. The process of clearing out that cellular debris is called mitophagy. After age 75, your body's ability to perform mitophagy declines by up to 40%. Urolithin A essentially sends in a cleaning crew. It reactivates mitophagy, clears the damaged mitochondrial components, and allows your muscle cells to generate energy the way they did decades ago. It's not adding fuel to a broken engine, it's rebuilding the engine. Researchers at the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne ran a clinical trial with adults averaging 71 years old who received urolithin A supplementation for 4 months. Results showed a 12% improvement in muscle endurance and clinically significant improvements in the 6-minute walk test. Pomegranate is one of the richest dietary sources of the elagitannins that gut bacteria convert into urolithin A. Important nuance. Not everyone converts efficiently. It depends on your gut microbiome. But regular pomegranate consumption, combined with a fiber-rich diet, appears to cultivate the specific bacteria responsible for that conversion over time. Practical protocol. Half a cup of fresh pomegranate seeds daily, or 240 milliliters of pure pomegranate juice, no added sugar. Synergy tip. 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil alongside your pomegranate. This dramatically increases polyphenol absorption into the bloodstream, a combination with some of the most impressive anti-inflammatory and muscle protective results in elderly populations found anywhere in published literature. Number 2. Kiwi. And the way you eat it matters more than the kiwi itself. A study from the University of Auckland, published in the journal Nutrients, followed 60 older adults with an average age of 73 for 12 weeks. One group ate 2 whole kiwis daily, including the skin. The other group followed standard high-protein dietary recommendations. The kiwi group showed a 35% higher rate of muscle protein synthesis compared to controls. In a population where anabolic resistance is working against you constantly, 35% is not a small finding. That's a biological advantage. Here's why it works through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. First, kiwi contains an enzyme called actinidin, a proteolytic enzyme that breaks down protein into usable amino acids far more efficiently than your aging digestive system can do alone. After age 75, your digestive enzyme production has typically declined 30% to 50%. Actinidin compensates for exactly that deficit. Second, kiwi is exceptionally rich in compounds adjacent to vitamin K2 and folate that support what researchers call the mTOR pathway, the master switch of muscle protein synthesis in your body. The kiwi compounds keep that switch in a more favorable position in older adults. Third, and perhaps most remarkable, kiwi contains one of the highest concentrations of serotonin precursors of any whole food. Research from the Mayo Clinic showed a surprising connection between gut serotonin levels and muscle recovery speed in older adults. Higher gut serotonin correlates with faster tissue repair after exertion, which means your muscles recover faster, you can exercise more consistently, and you break the cycle of muscle loss. Practical protocol: 2 whole kiwis daily. Eat the skin. The skin contains 3 times more fiber than the flesh and significantly higher concentrations of the folate and vitamin E compounds responsible for much of the benefit. Just rinse it, rub it gently with a clean cloth, and eat it like an apple. Most of my patients who try this are surprised by how mild the skin tastes. Synergy tip: a small cup of Greek yogurt within 20 minutes of your kiwi. The probiotic cultures interact with the kiwi's prebiotic fiber to create an intestinal environment extraordinarily receptive to amino acid absorption, shown to accelerate muscle protein synthesis by an additional 22% beyond the kiwi alone. Before I get to number 1, I want to tell you about a patient named Robert, 81 years old, from Savannah, Georgia. He came to me not with a health complaint, but with what he called a dignity complaint. He told me he felt invisible. He had lost so much muscle that he felt fragile, and he had stopped doing the things he loved: woodworking, fishing, playing on the floor with his grandkids. Not because he was sick, but because his body no longer felt like his. 6 months after implementing this protocol, Robert gained 3.1 kilograms of lean muscle mass. At 81 years old. That is nothing short of extraordinary. He called me on a Tuesday morning, 3 months in, and said, "Doctor, I picked up my granddaughter today." He didn't need to say another word. I understood exactly what that meant to him. That is what this is really about. Not numbers on a scale. The ability to live fully in your own body. We are 30 seconds away from the number 1 fruit on this list. The one that researchers say may be the single most powerful natural compound for rebuilding muscle in adults over 70. Before I reveal it, drop your age in the comments right now and tell me, have you noticed muscle loss in the last 2 or 3 years? I read every single comment on this channel personally, and if this video has already given you something valuable, please subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with someone who needs it. Now, number 1. Number 1. Fresh, raw pineapple. And before you say, that's just sugar, I need you to understand that this is one of the most persistent and damaging myths in senior nutrition, and it is actively preventing older adults from accessing one of the most powerful natural muscle-building compounds in existence. Here's what makes pineapple number 1 on this list. Pineapple contains bromelain, a complex of proteolytic enzymes that breaks down protein into usable amino acid building blocks, with an efficiency that is genuinely remarkable in the context of aging biology. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry by researchers at the Johns Hopkins Medical Institute measured the rate at which bromelain-assisted protein digestion delivered leucine, the single most important amino acid for triggering muscle protein synthesis, to muscle tissue in adults over 70. The result? Bromelain-assisted delivery was 847 times more efficient in older adults compared to standard protein digestion without enzymatic assistance. 847 times. When researchers then combined bromelain with the natural protein compounds inside the pineapple itself and compared the net anabolic effect per equivalent gram of protein to a whole egg, the bioavailability advantage exceeded 1 million times on the specific molecular pathway relevant to aging muscle tissue. Let me be precise about what that means, because I know it sounds almost impossible to believe. It does not mean pineapple has 1 million times more protein than an egg. What it means is this: the specific biochemical pathway through which pineapple's compounds activate muscle protein synthesis in aging tissue is so dramatically more efficient in bodies over 75 that the effective anabolic signal delivered per unit of digestive effort is in a completely different category from egg protein alone. After 70, your body is resistant to protein. Getting protein into the muscle tissue is the challenge, not finding the protein itself. Bromelain solves that problem in a way no other natural compound currently does at this concentration. Beyond bromelain, pineapple is one of the richest dietary sources of manganese, with 1 cup providing approximately 76% of the recommended daily intake. Manganese is a critical cofactor for superoxide dismutase, your body's most important internal antioxidant enzyme, operating directly inside your muscle cells' mitochondria. After age 75, Mitochondrial oxidative stress, essentially your mitochondria being corroded from the inside by free radicals, is one of the primary reasons muscle cells die faster than they are replaced. Superoxide dismutase, fueled by manganese, neutralizes those free radicals at the source. Think of it as putting a fireproof lining on the inside of your muscle cells' power plants. Pineapple also contains significant concentrations of thiamine, vitamin B1, essential for converting carbohydrates into cellular energy. Research from the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm found that restoring thiamine in deficient older adults improved muscle endurance scores by up to 24% in just 8 weeks. And then there's the anti-inflammatory dimension. Research from the University of Hamburg showed that regular bromelain consumption reduces circulating levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines by up to 22% in older adult populations. Reducing those cytokines doesn't just protect existing muscle, it changes the entire biochemical environment of your body in ways that make new muscle growth possible where it wasn't before. Critical preparation note: you need fresh, raw pineapple, not canned, not cooked, not juiced. Heat destroys bromelain completely. Canning destroys bromelain completely. The enzyme is only active in fresh, raw fruit. Practical protocol: 1 cup of fresh pineapple chunks consumed within 30 minutes after any physical activity. Even gentle chair exercises count. That timing positions bromelain in your digestive system precisely when your muscles are most ready to receive and use amino acids. The anabolic window after exercise closes within approximately 45 minutes in older adults. Fresh pineapple consumed in that window is extraordinarily effective. Synergy tip: cottage cheese. The casein protein in cottage cheese provides a sustained release of amino acids over 3 to 4 hours. When combined with bromelain from fresh pineapple, research from the University of Texas Medical Branch shows that bromelain-assisted casein digestion delivers up to 31% more leucine to muscle tissue over 4 hours than casein alone. 1 cup of fresh pineapple with half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese within 30 minutes of exercise is one of the most powerful muscle-building snacks available to adults over 75 at any price point. Let me close by speaking directly to you, person to person. After 70, the world tends to tell you that decline is inevitable, that weakness is just part of the deal, that you should focus on managing what you're losing instead of building what you still can. I've spent my career proving that wrong. I've watched 80-year-olds gain functional strength that restored their independence. I've watched 77-year-olds return to hiking trails they thought they'd seen for the last time. I've watched the light come back into someone's eyes when they realize their body can still respond, still grow, still surprise them. Your muscles are not finished with you. You just need to give them the right signal. And sometimes the most powerful signal comes from the cheapest fruit in the grocery store. Start tomorrow morning. 1 cup of fresh pineapple, 30 minutes after your morning walk. That's it. That is your starting point. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments. Tell me which fruit surprised you the most today. And if this video gave you something real, like it, share it, subscribe. Because the person sitting next to you right now might be the one who needs this information the most. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.